Yetta, do you know what our family's favorite flower is?
Forget-me-nots?
Yes.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
We are delighted that we've been able to create for you free access to over 653 Life Inside Track episodes where we share insider tips, making house home, building wealth wisely, and really how to thrive in your space. And the great news is you can get access to them from much anywhere you want, much anytime you want, including our YouTube channel at the Dekker Team YouTube store. Do we call it a store?
No, we don't.
Okay, because it's free
It's
and
a
we don't put
channel.
ads on
It's
it.
a channel.
It's just a channel?
Yes.
All right, so we have Care with us again from CHRI, and she's going to help us make sure we forget not the important things.
That's right. And something that you guys have never forgotten about is your family and incorporating them into your life from the very beginning. Yetta, you've already told us in a previous episode that when your kids were toddlers, you were getting started in this business. So why and how has having your family with you been so important? And how does that weave into everything that you're doing right now, even in business?
And how it helps, I think bottom line is the mistakes we made, we've learned from.
Absolutely.
So we can pass on the wisdom that we learned along the way. I mean, success is not the best teacher. Evaluated experience from a setback is actually a much better teacher. So we did a lot of things wrong and we did a few things right. We would make sure that for events like kids' schooling events and all that sort of stuff, although we worked way too long and way too hard, we were able to very quickly realize that we had to make ourselves accessible to the things that they would remember more. The things that would impact them more and shape them, right? And so I think we bring that to our clients. Sharing stories. It's not just a one and done. It's a continuous journey. That's one example that kind of sits deeply in my soul.
Yeah, and I think people that are entrepreneurs, quite often family businesses develop, right? When you're an entrepreneur, the family gets involved. This one sends out flyers, this one folds stuff, whatever it is. And one of the things we made sure we could do was we would blend. Like real estate's kind of an on-call kind of business.
Kind of?
Well, when I say kind of, it's because it's not like your furnace broke down and you need a furnace tech right away, or you have a medical emergency, you need a doctor right away. They need to be on call. It's real estate, there aren't really real estate emergencies. Sometimes people think they're emergencies, but we don't have to be quite as on call as that. And so we would do things like blending. For instance, we'd take the kids tubing behind the boat, right? And we go. And then sometimes the phone would ring or we get a text message and we need to talk to somebody about a house or negotiate an offer or something, or tell someone else to type up an offer, whatever it is. And we would I'd kill the throttle on the boat. They'd sit out on the tube and I'd say, give me 5 minutes. I'd do 5 minutes of work and then we'd start back up. And they knew that we had a lifestyle that our business provided for our family. And it was worth it. And maybe you have a business and you've got goals and you want to reach them. We would include our kids and we'd go, okay, this is our goal. This is when they weren't realtors on the team. They were just, younger children. And we'd say, this is our goal for our family to reach. And if we reach that, then we're going to Disney, or we're going to take this vacation, or we're going to go see the grandparents. And it
didn't have to be big stuff.
No, but when you include the family in those, they start rooting for you. And it can be the same thing when you're thinking we want to move houses. It's involve the kids, reward the kids for, keeping their room clean, making their bed every day, vacuuming, whatever it is. Because kids, I don't know about yours, but ours didn't live all that neatly in the beginning.
I love this. This is touching me too, because I think there's a season where you start to think, I can't do anything for me right now because I've got these kids. And I love them and I want to prioritize them. But the reality is you are prioritizing them if you're incorporating them, because they're starting to see that this is life. And like you said, this is a life that we can have together. We're doing this together. We're a family unit. I mean, growing up, we went on road trips together. We traveled together. A lot of times it was business trips with a little side trip on the side. But I think like rather than saying my kids are going to dictate my life right now, it's incorporating it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Sometimes we'd take them, we'd have some showings and we need to go out and show some houses, and it's around dinner time and we didn't have sitters at that time. You know, like we'd have them during the day, but then we didn't have them at night, or they just got home from school. And we say, I tell you what, you come on the showings with me and then we'll stop and we'll go to this restaurant or whatever. A reward for doing that. I remember one time I felt like such a bad parent. I don't know where you were. You were doing something. Maybe we were both serving clients, and I brought Candace and Ryan with me, and I left them in the van. I had one house to show. I said, I'll be back in about 15 minutes. Just stay here. Watch your brother. Don't get in trouble. Don't come and see me. Don't bother me. So I'm showing the house, and I hear a knock at the door, and so I go, and there's my daughter, and she's crying. And I'm going, oh, what's wrong? And she holds up her thumb, and she had found the cigarette lighter in the car and pushed it in. When it popped out, she thought it would be neat to touch her thumb on the end. So, yeah. But I have clients in the house, and I just felt so horrible as a dad.
But we all have moments like that where we feel like we're going to ruin our kids forever. Yeah. But in fact, what you've done with your lifestyle is that you've set your kids up forever. Do you want to share a little bit about what you're proud of right now with the way your family is because of the choices you made before?
Well, I think we're very excited that they chose to come into our industry. Like, we never encouraged them to do that because it's a hard industry. Any entrepreneur, if you're listening right now, you're thinking, yeah, it is hard. There are some days that you just don't even know how you're going to do it again. And that is why we're doing the Ultimate Sales Machine Boot Camp. And just go to dekkerteam.com. All the details are there. I'm not going to say deets today, but I did anyway. Anyway, it's all there. But really what I'm probably most excited about is that they've been part of the journey. And there's been ugly moments. Oh my goodness, lots of ugly moments. We never pushed them to do what we were doing, and yet they chose it. And right now, Ryan is still part-time with us as much as he needs to be. He's our support. He's our backbone. So is Candace. Like, they're both involved in the industry. And Ryan's also found a passion for farming. And so we were just over there the other night pickling eggs. Like, our kids still want to hang out with us. So what am I most proud about?
Winning,
they still like us.
Yeah.
And they're not little children. Date night is still important to them. And I don't think that could have happened if we didn't involve them, even in the house buying decisions. You know, when we moved, they were teenagers. And so we would involve them in those things. They came and saw the house we're in now a decade ago when they were both realtors on a whim, because we were doing an analysis for another client. And we thought this was really well priced. We should peek at it. And so we snooped in here with our kids. So involving them.
Adult kids.
Yeah, they were adults. They were adults. I mean, Candace was already long married. And then her husband decided that our home had been the most stable place his kids had ever experienced. And so they bought our house.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, when we bought this one.
Yeah. That's pretty exciting that our in-love kids love us as much as our kids.
There's a legacy that's built here. And I think that's what you're hoping for other, not just home buyers, but business people. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we're glad that we can give you options, because when your options are clear, your wisdom will flow.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.